Let me begin with a statement that sounds like nonsense. Light may be older than the universe. Now, immediately your internal alarm goes off. That can't be right. The universe began 13.8 billion years ago. Time itself began then, at least according to our best cosmological model. So, how could anything possibly be older than the universe? And yet, the moment we start asking what light really is and what we really mean by age and how time actually works, we discover that this simple sentence forces us to peel back layer after layer of misunderstanding. The goal tonight isn't to be clever with words, it's to take that paradox seriously and see whether modern physics actually allows something stranger than we expect. Let's begin somewhere familiar. You flip on a lamp, light fills the room. Photons leave the bulb, travel across space, bounce off the walls, and enter your eyes. You see. It feels immediate, but it isn't. Light travels at a finite speed, about 300,000 kilometers per second. Fast, yes. Instantaneous, no. If I shine a laser at the moon, it takes about 1.3 seconds to arrive. If the sun vanished right now, purely as a thought experiment, we wouldn't know for about 8 minutes. Light carries information, and information takes time to travel. Already we're living inside a delay. Now stretch that idea outward. When you look at a star, 10 light years away, you see it as it was 10 years ago. When you look at a galaxy a billion light years away, you see it as it was a billion years ago. The night sky is not a picture of what is, it is a record of what was. Now, here's the next step. What is the oldest light we could possibly see? If the universe had a beginning, what we call the Big Bang, then there must be a kind of fossil light left over from its early state. And indeed, there is. In 1965, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson were working with a large microwave antenna. They were trying to eliminate background noise. No matter what they did, cleaning equipment, checking circuits, even removing pigeon droppings, a faint microwave signal persisted from every direction in the sky. That signal turned out to be the cosmic microwave background radiation, light released when the universe was about 380,000 years old. Not at the first second, not at the first minute, but at the moment when the universe cooled enough for electrons and protons to combine into neutral atoms. Before that, light was constantly scattered. The universe was opaque, like the inside of a star. After that, it became transparent. Those photons have been traveling ever since. From our perspective, they have been traveling for 13.8 billion years. So it seems clear. The oldest light in the universe is 13.8 billion years old. But here is the hidden assumption in that sentence. It assumes that light experiences time, does it? Now we have to take a detour, but a necessary one. Einstein's special relativity tells us that time is not absolute. If you move relative to me, your clock ticks differently than mine. The faster you move, the slower your time flows relative to someone at rest. This isn't philosophy. It's been tested countless times. Atomic clocks flown around the Earth tick differently from those left on the ground. GPS satellites must correct for relativistic time shifts, or your navigation would fail within minutes. Time depends on motion. Now imagine pushing this to an extreme. If you travel at 90% the speed of light, your time slows noticeably. At 99%, it slows dramatically. At 99.99%, it slows even more. So, what happens at exactly the speed of light? Here, the mathematics becomes interesting. According to the Lorentz transformation, as velocity approaches the speed of light, the time experienced along that path, what we call proper time, approaches zero, not small, zero. Now, strictly speaking, you cannot define a valid reference frame moving at exactly the speed of light. So when people say from the photon's perspective, we are using shorthand. We are talking about the limit as velocity approaches light speed. But in that limit, the elapsed proper time shrinks to nothing. So imagine a photon emitted from a galaxy 10 billion light years away. From our perspective, it travels 10 billion years. From the geometry of spacetime along its path, the proper time between emission and absorption is zero. Let's make that concrete. Imagine two events. Event A is the emission of a photon in the early universe. Event B is that photon striking your eye tonight. In ordinary language, those events are separated by billions of years. But in space-time geometry, along the photon's trajectory, the interval between A and B contains no proper time. The photon does not age. Now pause. What does it mean to say something does not age? We are used to thinking that age is intrinsic. A tree grows rings, a person grows wrinkles, a star burns fuel and changes composition. But age is not intrinsic. It is accumulated along a path through space-time. In relativity, objects with mass follow what we call time-like paths. Along those paths, proper time increases. You accumulate time, you age. Light follows what we call null paths. Along those, proper time does not increase. Light does not accumulate time. So is the photon old. From our clocks, yes. From the geometry of its own path, no time has passed. This is not semantics. It is a structural feature of space-time. Now, here's where the idea starts to feel dangerous. If light experiences no time between emission and absorption, then in a geometric sense, the early universe and your present moment are directly connected without duration along that path. The Big Bang, or at least the earliest observable light, and your retina are connected by a line of zero proper time. That sounds like we're collapsing history, but we're not. We are discovering that history depends on which path you follow through space-time. Now let's go deeper. Relativity doesn't just alter clocks. It alters space itself. As you approach light speed, lengths contract in the direction of motion. Imagine you are traveling toward a distant galaxy at near light speed. In your frame, the distance to that galaxy shrinks. Push this to the limit, and the distance collapses towards zero. So, in the limiting sense, for light, both the time interval and the spatial interval between emission and absorption vanish. The entire journey is compressed. Now, again, we must be careful. We are speaking about limits, not literal photon consciousness. Photons do not have experiences. They do not carry clocks. But the mathematics tells us something profound. Space-time is arranged so that light connects events without accumulating time. And that changes how we think about age. When cosmologists say the universe is 13.8 billion years old, they mean something precise. They mean that matter moving with the cosmic expansion, what we call co-moving observers, would measure that much proper time since the hot dense beginning. The age of the universe is defined along matter-based world lines. Light does not follow those world lines. So the age of the universe is not the age experienced by light. Already we see that age is not universal. It is path-dependent. Now let's bring gravity into the picture. General relativity tells us that mass and energy curve space-time. Gravity is not a force in the old Newtonian sense. It is geometry. The universe expands because space-time itself evolves according to Einstein's field equations. As the universe expands, the wavelength of light stretches. That is why the cosmic microwave background is in the microwave region today. It began as visible or even higher energy radiation, but cosmic expansion stretched it. Yet even in curved, expanding space-time along a photon's path, proper time remains zero. So whether space-time is flat or curved, static or expanding, light traces null geodesics, paths of zero, proper time. This is not an accident. It is built into the structure of relativity. Now let's revisit the provocative claim. Is light older than the universe? If by older we mean accumulated more proper time, then no. Light accumulates no time at all. If by older we mean has existed since the early universe, then yes, some photons have been traveling since shortly after the Big Bang. But here is the deeper twist. From the perspective of space-time geometry, the separation between the early universe and your present moment along the photon's path contains no time. So in that limited but precise sense, the light connecting you to the early universe is not aged at all. The universe ages, light does not. Now consider what that implies about the nature of reality. We tend to imagine time as a universal river flowing from past to future. The Big Bang is at the source. The present is downstream. But relativity suggests something more like a four-dimensional structure, sometimes called the block universe. In this view, past, present, and future are all part of the geometry. Time does not flow. Rather, different observers slice space-time differently. The feeling of flow comes from thermodynamics, from the increase of entropy, and from how our brains process memory. But the geometry itself does not contain a preferred now. In that geometry, light draws connections between events. When you observe the cosmic microwave background, you are not watching ancient light crawl across time. You are intercepting a null geodesic that connects your event in space-time with an event in the early universe. That connection contains no proper time along its length. So does this destroy cosmology? No, cosmology remains intact because it is about how matter and energy evolve along time like paths. Stars form, galaxies collide, black holes merge. These processes involve clocks and entropy and proper time. Light is the messenger connecting those processes, but light itself stands at the boundary of time. It is neither aging nor static. It simply follows the geometry. Now let's push the philosophical implications. If age depends on path, then existence itself is more relational than we thought. There is no absolute measure of how long something has existed. There is only the proper time accumulated along its world line. For us, the universe is 13.8 billion years old because that is how much proper time has elapsed along matter based trajectories since the hot beginning. For a photon, there is no such accumulation. So perhaps the better way to say it is this: the universe has an age for matter, but not for light. And that is not a loophole, it is a revelation about the structure of reality. Now imagine standing under the night sky. You look at a faint glow, the cosmic microwave background, mapped by satellites like COBE, WMAP, and Planck. That radiation was released when the universe was 380,000 years old. From your perspective, it has been traveling for 13.8 billion years, but along its own path, no time has passed. The early universe and your eye are linked by a timeless geometric thread. That is astonishing. It means that the deep past is not separated from you by an absolute gulf of time. It is connected to you by the structure of space-time itself. The phrase, light is older than the universe, is misleading, but it points to a real secret. The secret is that time is not a universal background ticking independently of everything else. Time is part of space-time geometry. Different paths through that geometry accumulate different amounts of time. Matter ages, light does not. And understanding that reshapes our intuition about beginnings and endings. The Big Bang is not a moment that recedes into an unreachable past. It is an event in space-time. Light connects that event to us without aging. So the next time someone says the universe is 13.8 billion years old, you can agree and add a quiet footnote. That age applies to matter-based observers. For light, there is no aging at all. The universe grows older. Light remains timeless. And in that contrast lies one of the most beautiful insights of modern physics. Not that cosmology is wrong, not that the universe lacks a beginning, but that reality is subtler than our everyday language allows. Time is not universal. Age is not intrinsic. And the geometry of space-time decides how long things live. That is the real secret. And the fact that we, small creatures on a small planet orbiting an ordinary star, have uncovered this through mathematics, telescopes, and careful reasoning, that may be the most astonishing thing of all.